So
All right.
we're live. There we go. Hey everybody, welcome to somewhat of a podcast. I'm Nick.
I'm CJ.
Well, I was gonna say we're both playing Destiny right now, but what have you been up to?
Not much. Just been essentially work. Other video games I've been doing is I've just been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Link Evolution, and on my other off time, been playing. I brought back XCOM Enemy Within,
Uh-huh.
and having a lovely time with that game. Snipers are broken in that game. If you have never played it,
I've played a little bit. I haven't played it too much. Are you playing it on Xbox or PC?
Xbox.
Okay.
But yeah, technically, if you have a sniper class soldier, just
Mhm.
level them up and just watch them just
Just like
destroy
annihilate everything.
everything. They don't even have to move; they just shoot and you just kill everything.
Nice.
And then you remember, oh wait, I have other teammates. Maybe I should let them get a kill or two. Have you been playing anything recently?
Uh, I mean more of what's it called? More of a little bit of Destiny, a little bit of World of Warcraft. Uh, because Tyler's been online and um, Shannon's been online, we've been playing a fair amount of Warzone as well.
Nice. Oh, speaking of Warzone, I played on Xbox. Um, I did a single. I've been doing singles matches, and I'm actually getting pretty good at it. I got to top 10 the other day. Uh,
Nice.
oh yeah, I was pretty stoked. But the guy who got me was camping inside a building, sniping people, and I literally was just like, "I need to get to the next area," and he just sniped me, and I'm like, you know what? I get it.
Mhm. I
So
hear it. Yeah, it's definitely a game that when people camp, it tends to piss me off, but it's still I, I don't know. That's a game that like even if I get mad and stuff like that, I still don't get to the point where like I don't think I've ever rage quit
oh yeah.
Warzone at least. And it's one of those where like I still have fun with it even if I'm not seeming like I'm having fun with it.
Oh yeah, and that's the one thing I see like compilations of like gamers getting mad with kills and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't. I enjoy it for what it is. Do I get competitive with it? Yeah, but like if I get just sniped like I did, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, well, that was cheap. And I'm like, he had a
Yeah.
better position. He got there before I did, and hell, if
It is
I would
what
have
it
had
is.
that, I would have done the same thing. So it's just one of those things. Like, kudos, you got me.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Oh, I guess it's just me. Um, but you know, I'm actually enjoying this game, Destiny. I was kind of burnt out on the first one. I don't even know if they can hear me. Might just be talking to myself. But I played Destiny 1 from the beginning, enjoyed it. Got kind of burnt on it, burnt out on it, and the whole DLC thing kind of just rattled me a bit. But wasn't looking at the game as an MMO. I was looking at it as a first-person shooter because it's Bungie and they did Halo, and Halo was great. And I was thinking this was going to be the next Halo, but needed that MMO fix, pick this back up, and back to having fun with this. So yeah, I really need to get back into streaming. If you look up The Siege on Twitch, I stream. Well, that's my streaming platform. I also have a YouTube channel. I have a bunch of stuff I've streamed, from Bloodborne to Crash Bandicoot. Like I said, I really need to get back in on that. But if you have a second, check it out. In the comments, I'm always looking up for challenges. So if any of you want me to play a game and challenge myself, I'm down for that.
Speaking of which, that sounded like a really good idea. We need to sit down and hash out some details about trying to do like game challenges like that.
I didn't know if you could hear me.
Yeah. Well, sorry, it was one of those. So Corey called me back. So I was just talking to Corey, but just to be safe, I went ahead and muted my mic in case like he said something that I needed to respond to that he may or may not have wanted on the stream or whatever. But it's all good.
Really?
So.
But yeah,
I'm going to.
I'm always like, I love playing video games, but it's when you play video games so much or play your favorite game so much, you kind of get stuck in that rut. It's like playing Skyrim. Like I try to like deviate from my normal playthrough. My normal playthrough is the second I get a bow, just sneak and bow the shit out of everything. So I don't really deviate from that. So I love when my friends challenge me. I'm like, oh hey, instead of doing bows, do dual wield or just do straight magic or do straight something. And I'm like, that sounds interesting, and I'm gonna hate every second of it. But you know what? Challenge.
But you know what? Exactly. Challenge accepted. All right. I'm gonna do.
Is it raining? Snowing?
On your planet or outside here? Oh, raining probably.
Okay.
Rain tends to happen.
Yeah. Like to give an example of challenges, Bloodborne, I usually do a skill strength build, but after the tragedy of my last game, going back through it, I'm like, you know, I'm going to do something different. So I'm doing a straight arcane build, and dear God, that build is so overpowered if you know how to do it. And I didn't realize what?
I said, really?
Oh yeah. Because, well, yeah, actually, even for the end game, like, if you just do straight arcane and health, you'll get the flame sprayer pretty early. And if you do some of the chalice dungeons to get blood gems to boost fire, I just melt everything. And I was just surprised because the Bloodstarved Beast, I think it's like the second boss you kind of take on. Or no, it's a third boss if you take on the Cleric Beast. But usually most people have a trouble with it. And usually when I do my strength skill build, it gives me a little trouble. Arcane, I just walked up and melted it with the flame sprayer. And I was just like, what? So, like I said, I'm having fun with it. And then once you get into the end game, some of the stuff starts losing weakness to fire and starts having weakness to bolt and arcane, which if you're still doing an arcane build, you still just melt things, but you have more interesting items to use because you have access to them because you keep putting points towards arcane. And like that's one of the reasons why I like challenging myself in video games to do something different, because I would have never known that was a prominent build.
Right, because that's just not your normal style.
Yep.
I hear you. I was doing the same thing with when I played Spider-Man on PS4. I was going through and I tend to, this is how I play this and that's how I'm going to play it. But I started like, okay, this seems interesting and goes completely against my normal style of gameplay, but try it out anyway. And then it ended up being much more fun for me because it was something different and it wasn't the same thing that I do with everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I will also say another thing, not necessarily video game related, but do you watch Psych, or did you watch Psych when it was on?
No. I'm gonna be. Don't know if I'm gonna get slack for this. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh, so Psych was a television series. It was on USA. It was really popular for a while. Basically, this guy, his name's Sean Spencer, is a he's his dad was raising him trying to be a cop, and so from a very young age, his dad
Okay,
was
I know.
like,
I know the show you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, well, anyway, so when the show ended, they uh they did another thing where they basically decided that they're going to do movies.
Okay.
And so every 2 years or so they're going to do a movie. And so uh the second film, Psych 2 Lassie Come Home, premiered today on Peacock. So
Okay.
me and Adrian literally just watched it. It's actually pretty good.
Well, that's good to know.
It's a little, it's a little, I don't know. Nothing against it. But one of the characters feels a little forced. But the problem
Um,
is, the actor who is playing it, um, the actor, the way he is, he had a stroke while they were filming,
oh.
or while they were filming the previous movie. Sorry, he had a
Okay.
stroke. So while they were filming the first film, had a stroke. And so this movie, he's still kind of recovering a little bit because it hasn't been too long. So like he still has some of the paralysis on the left side of his face. He's still
Yeah.
like um he still isn't quite up to his normal self, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
And so but I will say they the way that they do it, they explain that like his character had a stroke. And so it's all stuff that would make sense for his character. It's just not used to it.
Oh, gotcha.
But
Because
still
essentially, or
like
go ahead.
even though it's been even though it's been 4 years since the show has actually been a television series and has been 2 years since the last movie, um I mean everybody just goes right back into their respective stuff, and it seems like almost no time is passed.
Okay.
So good stuff.
Oh yeah. It's weird when something like that happens, and it's good to hear that they were able to integrate um, what happened to him into the show to actually make it flow, and the
Right.
fact that they were able to. Because I know with stuff like that, that gets really serious, and sometimes when that happens, sometimes they're just like, "Hey, for your own benefit, we're not going to have you on the next season." But the fact that they have him back again
Right.
playing a role is just awesome.
Which, and that's the other thing, is so it happened while he was filming the last movie. And so they had him in the first movie. They didn't like write him out or anything. Or
Hmm.
I mean they did write him out quite a bit, but they still left him in.
Hmm.
But it was all like him FaceTiming. So it was basically just him actually FaceTiming from the hospital.
Gotcha.
So it kind of again tended to fit a little bit. But
Oh yeah. Um, did you get to read about PlayStation and their thing for backwards compatibility?
no, I did not.
I'm going to start this
I was
with
gonna say I have a feeling this is gonna get a little funny the way you're laughing, but
I say this with a sigh because PlayStation, for just PlayStation users, like backwards compatibility is the one thing that we've cried out in havoc, being like, "We this is what we want," there's such a rich library to pull from. Backwards compatibility is one of those things that we've always wanted.
Right.
Granted, all the way back to the PS3 when it did have it, but it made the PS3 expensive, so they took that component out to make it cheaper. Which, in my opinion, I would have paid the extra to do have backwards compatibility. But that's just me.
Which that's kind of so I actually I mean it's in pieces right now behind me, but I have a PlayStation 3 like the original gen, and
Yeah.
I got it. I sought it out specifically because it was backwards compatible with the PS2
Hmm.
and the PS1 games. But like it was emulation from a hardware perspective, so it was um like you had no issues. You pop it in and it works. But
Yeah.
my Blu-ray lens, like the actual Blu-ray portion of the drive stopped working, but
Ooh.
but the regular uh disc lens still worked. So it's still a PlayStation 3, but it only plays PS1 and PS2 games and DVDs.
Honestly,
So
um, I feel like that's a
which
bonus.
right, it's one of those where honestly I'm fine with it because it means that I basically have a PS2 that uses an HDMI slot, so I can use it on modern TVs,
Oh
and I
yeah,
can still buy digital PS3 games. I just couldn't use PS3 discs.
that's that's all. That's a weird like coincidence. It's just like
Yeah,
I'm not even mad. I'm just quite
right.
impressed.
It was just odd.
Yeah,
So like, and the thing that made me mad was I was like, oh, I got a PS3. This is great. So I went out and I bought the Uncharted games and all this stuff, and then
yeah.
couldn't do it because they were physical discs. So I
Uh,
spent money on those and couldn't end up using them. But again, if it's the worst thing that happens, it's the worst thing that happens.
oh
It's
yeah.
not. Yeah, I just
Um,
I just ended up getting them again digitally. Or well, I ended up getting them again later on PlayStation 4. So
oh, there you go.
yeah,
Back to the original thought. So they announced kind of what they're going to do with the PlayStation backwards compatibility.
yeah,
It's not going to be disc reading. It's going to be, in a sense, streaming and emulation.
okay,
And my biggest complaint is I'd rather have a digital copy of a game and own it instead of being able to stream it.
yeah.
Um,
So it's gonna work like how the PlayStation Now.
yep. And they speculate that it's going to be like the PlayStation Now, but it's gonna like have a subscription, and it's gonna be like old PlayStation, PlayStation One, Two games that you can emulate from your PS5.
Yeah,
Like I said, my biggest gripe and complaint is I'd rather have a physical copy of the game and not stream it.
yeah.
But
Well, I mean, and that's the other thing is they found out that like when they did PlayStation Now that doesn't work too well. So they even made it
yeah,
so that way PlayStation Now you can actually download and install it as opposed to streaming it. So now they're switching
hmm,
back to streaming.
yeah,
That's
and
weird.
the reason actually segue into something I was talking about earlier. XCOM Enemy Within. I was
Uh huh.
going to get it through my PlayStation 5, but you can only get it through streaming on PS Now. Um, and I was just like, I don't really want to buy a subscription to that just to play
Right.
one game. And then I found
Right.
out Xbox is like, oh, hey, you can just straight up buy the game and play it. And I was just like,
Well,
all
and
right.
do you have Xbox Game Pass?
No, no.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
which
because if I remember right, I think that the XCOM games are actually on Game Pass.
mhm. You can either get the Game Pass or you can just outright buy it.
Right.
And same thing with the PlayStation Now. It was just like I've looked at all the selection. I was like, this is a really nice selection, but I'd rather just pay one flat fee and play this one game. And then,
Right. Well,
um,
that's another thing that so like I've got Game Pass, but like I still haven't technically paid for Game Pass because I had Xbox Live and I had um what's it called? I had Xbox Live and I had um oh no, it was Game Pass. I bought a couple months of Game Pass and I had like 2 years prepaid of Xbox Live because of something that was going on. And then they went
Oh,
through, and anybody who had Xbox Live, however many months you had left, they just transfer that over to a Game Pass Ultimate
okay.
subscription. And when they did that, it gave me Game Pass Ultimate through 2022. So till May
Oh
of
shit.
2022, I don't have to pay for Xbox Live or Game Pass because they just put it all through. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So I haven't had to pay for either one because of them going through and doing that, trying to move everybody over.
Yeah.
So
Well, there you go. Um,
worked out well in my favor.
oh yeah. And in the comparison between PlayStation and Xbox on how they're wanting to handle backwards compatibility,
Yeah.
I now have like, if that is really what PlayStation is going to do, I have to give it to Xbox because Xbox, their whole thing is you're going to be able to play your old games. They're going to be upgraded to resolution to
Yeah.
now.
It's basically you put the disc in so it knows that you own it, and then it just downloads and installs the digital copy that'll
Yep.
have the upgraded stuff for the new one, and you got it. And it's
We,
automatic and free. It's not a, oh, you have to
yep.
pay extra to do this. It's, oh, you got it.
Which I got to give it to Xbox. I'm like, you've had me sold on that. And the only thing that really kills me, just the library between PlayStation and Xbox.
Right.
Xbox does have a good, like, has some good retro games, but like PlayStation just has so many that I would love to go back and just play. But I don't know. Like, it's one of those things that I'm gonna wait until the full product's out and see how they handle it. But if what they're saying is that's how they're gonna do it, I feel like there's gonna be a good majority of people that are not gonna be happy with it, just because of how the PlayStation Now and that streaming and how all that went down is
Yeah.
playing out. But yeah, I found out about that, and I was just like, because I thought it was going to be like, oh, same thing as Xbox, but then they're like, yeah, no, you're pretty much going to be streaming the games, and I'm like, it's like you got so close, PlayStation, so close, but um, it is what it is,
Yeah.
essentially. But like my other biggest worry about them streaming is is it going to be one of those things that you're going to have a small selection of games? Or are you going to open up a wide selection of like,
Right. Are you going to get everything, or are you only going to get whatever select games that we say you can have?
yeah. Which again, like I gotta give this to Xbox. Is like, hey, the whole library is open. Just have fun. And I'm like,
Pretty much. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah. Then the only other big news that I thought this was weird. Well, it's not weird. It's just how people are. And I guess I'm not spoiling anything. It's just people being people. I don't know if you heard. Well, I guess okay. I'll stop putting around it. But the voice actress for The Last of Us 2.
Oh, are you talking about Laura Bailey getting death threats and like people saying they're going to kill her and her children and her husband, or her
Yeah,
child and her husband?
yeah, like I was.
Yeah.
Oh my god, people
Yeah. No, fuck people.
just because
Like,
the last time I ever heard something that like controversial is when I forget what his name is, but the kid who played, or the guy who played Draco Malfoy. I remember there was an interview where he openly said like people like he'd be walking down the street and people would just spit on him and just insult him
Jesus.
from like they just get so ingrained in their hobby or their stuff that these people who are just actors and
Yeah.
like I give credit to the guy who played it. Like if this is the reaction you elicit people from playing this character, good job. Like you did your part.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing. So like with Laura Bailey like flipping out, like, or with people flipping out on Laura Bailey, it's not like she didn't have any control over the writing or
Yeah.
story or anything like that. She only had control over like they said, "Hey, say these things," and she said those things, and that's that.
Yep.
But
Like
oh, hey, Dakota.
Hello.
We got a viewer. But no, but yeah, no, that's complete utter bullshit. Also, the fact I like Laura Bailey is one of my all-time favorite voice actresses.
Oh yeah.
So like anything bad happening with her is just awful.
And it just people, like you said, people are just they really like. Yeah, like I understand a fandom like getting into something and like really liking it, but there's that like fine line when you realize they didn't write it, like you said, they didn't write it, they didn't come up and be like, hey, I should say this because I feel like this is what, like they were given a script and said, hey, they maybe had like an input like, oh, maybe the character should say this or like
Right.
this, but again, that's not that person, they're just playing that character.
Right.
And it's just, yeah, and it's sad that she has to go through that because people don't understand that, like that line.
Right.
But yeah, I just read about that. I was just appalled, and I'm like, you people really need to like just calm the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
uh, but I saw chatter on when is Shadowlands out or is it coming out?
Shadowland. Oh, World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So that is coming out October. Or no. I don't think we even have. I don't think we have a release date yet. It's coming out this year.
Okay.
Shadowlands release date. The beta is going on right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the only thing that they've actually 100% stated was fall 2020.
Okay.
So
yeah, because I have a few guys I worked with that play World of Warcraft, and a while back ago, I found out they played World of Warcraft, and we just struck up a conversation about it, and they were talking about Shadowlands and how they're excited for it and what's to come and all that, and I told him like, so you're gonna get back into it? He's like, nah, my wife will not let me do that. He's like, when I played it, I wasn't in a relationship, and I was like, I gotcha.
See, that's like I hit a pretty low point with me for World of Warcraft. Like at one point in time, I was unemployed, and so like it got to the point where Adrian would go to work, I would stay home all day, play World of Warcraft. She would come home from work, and I would still be playing World of Warcraft, and then she'd like go and be like, "Oh, let's go get food or whatever." We'd go get food. We'd get back home, and I'd get back on World of Warcraft. And then she would go to bed so she could wake up early in the next morning and go to work. I would stay up and play World of Warcraft till like 2 or 3, and then I would go to bed. She'd get up at 5 to go to work, and I'd get right back on World of Warcraft. So I was at one point in time doing like almost like 15 to 18 hours a day.
Wow.
And it was just nuts. Granted, I had a lot of fun. I got a lot of stuff done, and but it's just like, do I really need to have been doing that? Like, yeah. Which every time that I've gone back to World of Warcraft, like I say World of Warcraft is the thing that like that's my crack that I've given up and broke the habit of like 8 times.
Oh yeah.
Because it's one of those where I stop playing and everything like that, and then a new expansion's about to come out. So then I resubscribe, get everybody up to max level, play through the expansion, have a little bit of fun, and then cancel my subscription and just go back to not playing for a while. So it's just kind of a back and forth kind of a thing.
But I feel you. Like I played the original up to about when I had to go to college, and then when I hit college, oh no, the Burning Crusade was about to come out, And then when I got into college, my parents were like, "You really need to focus on your like school and doing all that." And then one of my friends is like, "Hey, my roommate is like, hey, we're gonna go into the lounge area and play World of Warcraft. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "Well, I don't have anything to play." And he's like, I had a Acer like notebook laptop.
Uh-huh.
We got that thing to play World of Warcraft. Like it
Nice.
wasn't supposed to play World of Warcraft, but we got it to play. And literally, I had it propped up with books, and I had a small little fan going under it because it would just heat up trying to run it. But oh, dude, we would. I remember like Friday afternoon when everybody was done in with their classes, we'd just go into the lounge area. Everyone would have their computers. We'd all set up, and we'd literally just play World of Warcraft all weekend. We'd always have someone in the lounge area to just watch over all our stuff. We took groups to just go eat and then come back, and then oh yeah, and then like when Sunday came around, we played till like 2 in the morning, and then they were like, "Don't you have class at 9?" I'm like, I can sleep on a few hours. I'll just
Yeah, I got this. No big deal.
go to class and just pretty much be asleep the whole time.
That's hilarious.
But then yeah, and then the reason what got me out of that because that was during the Wrath of the Lich King.
Hmm.
Um, our RA at the time was our guild leader, and we were saving up money and stuff to do all this stuff and all this. Weirdly enough, all that money disappeared, and he had new gear.
Oh.
And then he tried to play it off like something Blizzard messed up, and our money disappeared, and like all our gold and stuff. And I was
Right.
like, and then he was like, "Oh no! Like I'm talking with Blizzard. I'm trying to. We probably just like did something with our bank got hacked, and we'll get our stuff back." And I was just like, at that point, I was like, I don't fucking care. Like, I'm just I'm like, we've been playing this forever. I really just need to take a fucking break. So I just stopped.
Jeez.
And then I picked it up back when the Warlords came out.
Yeah.
Played it for a bit, got caught up, and then from there I haven't played since.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's so I played vanilla, but my parents wouldn't let me get my own account because they didn't let me. I did play Matrix Online for a while, but for World of Warcraft they wouldn't let me pay the 15 a month for the subscription fee. So one of my other friends, his parents let him have vanilla and pay the 15 a month. And so what we did was we just installed it also on my computer, and then I just had basically alts on his account. So I would sign into his account, and then I created my character on his account, and then I would just play the alts. So that way we couldn't play together, but I could still play. And but then I did that for vanilla and a little bit of Burning Crusade, and then I stopped. And then when I was on my own and everything like that, and had my own job and making my own money, Wrath of the Lich King came out, and my buddy that I was mooching off of was like, "Look, here's the situation. If you buy Wrath of the Lich King, I'll buy you the battle chest, which is vanilla and Burning Crusade. So I'll buy you vanilla, Burning Crusade, you buy Wrath of the Lich King, and then we can play together." I was like, "Yep, sounds like a plan." So I went through and started doing that, and then that's how I got my own account. And it's just one of those where it's like I've put so much time and effort into it that I just feel like it's a waste of all of that time and effort if I don't pick it up and play during each of the new expansions.
Oh yeah, I feel you. But like when they announced WoW Classic, that almost got me back into it.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely, you don't realize how much quality of life stuff there is until like you go back to play Classic, and it's just like, oh god, like I can't believe that this was a normal thing for us.
I actually have to find the quest or the quest monster.
Well, yeah, or like how fucking long it takes to level up and shit is just
Oh yeah.
insane because of all that stuff. And then plus also there's no looking for raid, there's no looking for dungeons. It's all or well, I mean it's all LFG. Like there's no actual like
Yeah.
queuing up for a dungeon or queuing up for a raid. By the way, I'm in your group now.
I noticed.
Okay. But yeah, it's all all the old school shit. So
Um, yeah, because when I picked it back up during the Frozen Throne, or the Wrath of the Lich King,
I knew what
uh,
you meant. Yeah, Frozen Throne,
yeah,
Warcraft 3. So I
dude, I played the. I had Warcraft 3, and I played the shit out of that. I
oh yeah.
love RTSs, and that was my first exposure to Warcraft, and um, just thoroughly loved it. And then my buddy told me, he's like, "Hey, there's an MMO coming out for this game called World of Warcraft." And since I played Warcraft 3 and I understood the lore, how everything was going down, I was excited for it. My first character was a Tauren hunter.
Nice.
Because I really liked the Tauren, and he made it undead so we could play. I did Tauren so we could be Horde. Um, but love that character. Played it till Burning Crusade. Stopped and then I picked up Wrath, pulled it back up, and like all my gear, all my shit was either just outdated or just didn't couldn't use it anymore because they. I think that was when they changed. You didn't need ammo anymore. It was.
Oh, it was all based on durability.
Yep.
Yep.
Um, and like I had an ammo pouch just full of like high grade ammo, ready to fucking play. And then when I jumped on it
Useless.
again, just useless. And I was just like, well, back to square one, trying to figure all this shit out again.
Yep.
But do you want to jump out and maybe do Gambit?
We can do whatever you want, man.
All right. The only quest I have or bounty I have left is to do supers on this planet, but I can do that at any other time.
I was gonna say, do you have any other bounties you need to do or
Um,
right now?
actually, I do need to go to Show of Power weekly bounty, defeat opposing guardians with supers in Gambit or Crucible.
Oh,
So,
I mean, we can. In that case, I mean, we can jump Gambit.
okay. Hold up. Quick question. I have three of these weapons, and I'm not really sure. It's a purple, but it has a gold border.
It's a what?
It's a purple. It's the red Mamba, but it has a gold border instead of just being a just purple legendary weapon. Why? What's up with the gold border?
Um, hold on. Let me look on my character at something and make sure that I'm. Yeah. So it's got like like when you have it highlighted, it has like on the top, it's got like it's purple, but then like it has lines and stuff like that are gold.
Yeah.
And then one of your stats is increased with gold.
Yes.
Okay, so that means it's a masterwork weapon. That means the weapon is leveled up to masterwork status, which gives you a boost in that, but it also has a chance to create light on kills.
Oh, okay.
So it'll create orbs of light whenever you kill anything with it. Or it has a chance to. The like a what are they called? Precision kills have a much higher chance of doing it.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, it's just a masterwork weapon. It has an increase buff on a thing. You can make any weapon a masterwork, or you have a chance to get stuff to automatically drop masterwork.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one I randomly picked up.
Yep. Usually if you pick it up, masterwork, it is a I forget what it's called. Basically, it's it is a weapon that is designed specifically with those stats to be a masterwork item.
Oh, okay.
Because your stats, perks, that kind of stuff, all can vary on drops.
Okay.
So, like me, I have a masterwork bug out bag equipped right now, or bug out, yeah, bug out bag.
Yeah.
So it's got an increased reload speed, and then I have slideways and multi kill clip. So if I find that weapon, no matter where I find it, if it's masterwork, it's going to have slideways and master kill. But
Okay.
if I want other perks to be masterworked, then I can make any one of them masterwork. I just have to level it up. So you have to add like basically it costs uh legendary shards and some other stuff to like masterwork and level up and everything like that. So
Okay. Yeah, picked up two other ones. I just didn't know what. Like, I was like, "Hey, this is unique," and I'm not really sure why.
yeah.
Oop, get hit by a fart bubble.
But what was I say? No, other random stuff I've been watching. Also have been going back through and rewatching Sopranos
Nice.
since HBO's working on that movie. I'd rather it
Yeah.
be fresh in my mind when it does come out.
Nice. The only show I've been watching recently is I didn't think I was gonna get that into it, but I love the concept of time travel and the way they handle this is interesting. But the Outlander or
Okay,
Outlander,
so I haven't watched it yet. Adrian watched the first season and really liked it, but there's a few hard to watch episodes,
yeah,
and
I will.
so she kind of stopped watching it for a bit. But I've got a couple other friends that are watching it right now, and like to the
Um,
point where like they're like buying the books and everything like that, and watching
okay.
them. But
Um, if she's only on the first season, I will just warn there is another hard to watch scene in the second season.
yeah,
Um,
it's kind of one of those where I don't want to say she's done with the series, but she seems like she's done with the series.
yeah. Um,
How do we get these disruptor knights?
what?
Like, do we need stuff that breaks barriers? Like, how do you kill these disruptor knights?
Oh, you get them together.
Oh, hey, didn't know that.
So earlier, when I was playing this, I was watching one person just shoot at one of them, and I forget how I figured it out, but like I think they got yeah. See, if you get them close, their shield drops. So you gotta kite them to each other to get the shield down. Then you just, uh, but it's just trying to get one. You got to get everyone to understand that you need to get them close together. Because one's a sword and one's a shoot. So I think it's easier to get the sword boy to the gun boy.
Melee boy, or
Yeah,
the melee boy over to the shooty boy.
yeah. There we go. Right there. There's one. And when one's dead, the other one just crumbles.
Yeah. Wow, that was fun.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It took me a second to realize that too, because I thought it was just oh hey, just gotta wear down their shield and they'll die. And then I kept shooting them and like their shields weren't dropping. I was like, well, that's weird.
And I have
And
something
then
that's anti-barrier round, so I was like, "Oh, shoot him with the anti-barrier rounds, drops the shield," and it was doing nothing. And I was like, "Okay."
but I think I was on IO and I went to that part where it's back in the corner, and just I was trying to do one of the quick quests to shoot. I am dropping the name. The basic bitch Vex. I forget what they're called. To shoot them in the middle, it's like got milk or something is like what the quest is, and you just shoot their centers.
Yeah.
But I
about.
went over there, and the two night boys were over there just fucking with them, and I was like, okay, whatever. I just thought it was interesting, so I started watching them, and then I noticed that when they got close together, their barriers would drop, and then I started shooting them, and then they started taking damage, and then one would split off from the other one, and their barriers would come back up, and I was like, oh, I see. You have to get them close, and then once you get them close, the barrier goes down, and then they just crumble like a hot knife through paper. But yeah. The one I hate is the big ogre that walks around with an entourage.
Oh, I think that's the guy we just took out.
Yeah. There's been times I've literally just been trying to do a simple like get 15 kills with a shotgun without dying, turn the corner
and it's just right into one of those.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm dead.
That's funny.
All right, yeah, let's go do some Gambit.
Yeah, no, you said you want to do Gambit?
Yep.
Yeah, if you pull fire team to orbit, it should pull me with you. Actually, we should probably go to the tower instead of jumping straight into Gambit. That way we can get Gambit bounties.
Good point. Oh, and I've got a ton of things I got to go see the postmaster because apparently he has stuff that I didn't grab. So
hey, free fun stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, that's a neat ship.
What?
Your ship.
Oh yeah, it's one of the Christmas ships.
Nice.
Yeah. I got that one, and then I also got my other one I really like. Oh, it's on my other one. It's on my hunter. Never mind.
I think one of the things I like between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 that they did was they made events. There's a timer on it to let people know. I think that was the smartest idea. Like that was awesome because back in Destiny 1, I would literally get on a website and be like, oh, hey, when's this event starting? Oh, tomorrow? Okay, well, I guess I won't fuck around this area anymore.
Right.
And I like the fact that if you touch the flag, it replenishes everything and gives you all your abilities and your ultimate.
And it also puts the countdown timer on your screen.
Yep, that too. Oh, I did the floor is lava thing.
Oh yeah,
that's a tower.
It is far easier on PC. Like I've only done it maybe 2 or 3 times on Xbox, but on PC I can do it almost consistently.
Yeah, doing it on Xbox, it was a pain in the ass. I think
Yeah.
I did it 5 times, and on the sixth time, I finally got it.
Well, and there's also there's a couple different places it goes to, and
Yeah.
like the one that stays up top and ends up over by where what's it called is here. Let me just go up there.
The one near Zala or Zavala or that one.
The one that
Yeah.
ends up here is so easy. Like this one is the easiest one. The one that ends like right here.
Um, Weirdly enough, when I was trying to do it on that one, there's I think I can remember where the spot was. There's a spot. Oh, it's jumping from here to like over here. The hitbox is weird, and I died every time. And I
Oh,
just like
really?
it was weird. I just couldn't figure it out. And my buddy, he was showing me, he got it with no problem, but for some reason, I could not do it. So the one I got was the spot that was over here.
Huh.
Um, like right here was the
Oh
spot
yeah,
that I,
yeah, Lane's right there. Yeah.
which I was like, okay, cool. And then I did it, and I was like, oh, sweet, I can jump really high. And I told my buddy, like, is this all this does? He's like, yeah. I was like, nice.
Nice. All right, I am going to go over here. Are you running all the way over to the drifter?
Yeah, I know I can fast travel.
Although now that I actually just did it, man, solid state hard drives have me spoiled, man. Like I'm used to like, oh, go over to the drifter, click, done. All right. Void abilities, I think I can do that. Summon Primevals, I think I can do that. Primeval Envoy, I can do that. Use some finishers, I think I can do that. Are we gonna do regular Gambit or Gambit Prime?
I don't really care. Whatever suits your fancy.
Let's do some Gambit Prime.
Okay, that switches up what bounties. Motes denied. Targets neutralized. Blockers sent. Blockers defeated. Pretty much all of them.
Oh shit! What the fuck? Ah! Ooh! Ooh! Lordy!
What do you get?
I got an assault rifle that went to my bank.
Nice.
I'm not quite sure what I got, but I got. That's fine because I'm already working on one of those. Earn points by defeating combatants and guardians with scout rifle. Scout rifle, I can do that. Hey, grenades. I'm already working on that. Defeat Taken. Guess what? We're doing Gambit. There's a lot of Taken.
Yeah.
Rocket launcher. I think I can manage to do that too. And we are not doing lost sectors, so there's no point in getting that. All right.
What new shit did I get? Ooh.
How do I earn ranks? because I need to give it twisted energy, right? It takes twisted
Yeah.
energy to increase your recaster, right? Yeah, okay.
Yep. Yeah, because twisted is to recast, and then the other one is to
do the like focusing the Umbral Ingrams.
Yep.
Got
How many do I have? 3. Let's see. What could I put it? Just hold on to them for now. All right, let's. Are you ready?
1 second. Sorry, I've got. First of all, let me see how this auto rifle is that just went to my bank because it was Pinnacle gear.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which as low of a level as I am, that's still only 10, 12. But
yeah, I think. What level am I now? Chin 38.
Jesus.
So slowly making it.
Okay, so if I do, come on, there we go. Okay, get rid of that. All right, and then get rid of that. Okay, so if I do,
oh shit, I didn't realize I
had rifle. Do I have any sidearm that I can use? That's a shotgun. That's a sidearm.
This is low carry limited. Thanks. I'm thinking 10 minutes on it. Oh, damn. That's interesting. Finding out that one. So I get 4 free, and I got 3. So oh shit.
I'll do that for now. Okay, because how many sidearm kills do I need to get? I need to get.
Yeah, I'll get the regular cost. What's this guy? 1027.
Grenade. Sidearm, I need to get 25 kills. Sidearm.
Switch to that. So that's the best, yeah.
And all of my element stuff is void. Perfect. I'll run void then.
Oh, I picked up the exotic Lord of Wolves randomly.
Oh, Lord of Wolves is so fucking good. It used to be like ridiculous, but now it's really good. But like have you had a chance to mess around with it yet?
Oh yeah, like
It's nuts. A shotgun that fires like a pulse rifle is just Blah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So like I was messing around with it, and when playing shooters, I have a tendency after reloading a lot.
Mhm.
Well, I didn't understand how the Lord of Wolves worked. So there was one time I was in a firefight and I was just holding down on the X button,
Oh yeah.
and then the next time I shot, I was just like, I
It's like,
was
wait,
like,
what?
oh, okay, all right, you can do this.
So this is a thing.
So yeah, it took me a second to figure out how it all worked and how you can switch between the two, but I was like, all right, I see what we're rolling with now.
Yep. But all right. I believe I am ready whenever you is.
All right, I'll head that way now.
Go.
Uniform, Gambo Prime.
Yeah. Where am I? I thought there was something else I was wanting to talk about during the podcast to get people's opinion, and I don't remember for the life of me.
Oh, so this is just an off because the Game Informer came in the mail the other day,
Yeah.
and they were going over like you know how they rank in games from like 8.5 to 10.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got a good laugh that The Last of Us 2 got a solid 10 rating, and I was just like, what?
I will say I do find it funny. Joe completely retracted himself and loves everything about that game, top to bottom, front to back. And which that's a pretty funny story. So Joe played Last of Us, got to the end, and hated the last probably not quite quarter of it, but about the last quarter of it. And hated it, hated it, hated it, wouldn't listen to anybody. He talked to Shannon, and Shannon apparently described some stuff and made some stuff make more sense to him, to the point where Joe has completely gone 180 and has a completely different outlook on the game and loves it and everything about it. Problem
I
is, Shannon was so fucking drunk, he doesn't even remember this conversation taking place. It was completely blacked out. And
uh,
and he literally talked to Joe for like an hour and a half about how The Last of Us is actually a really good game. He just doesn't realize it. and like apparently when Shannon is blackout drunk, he is like at his most convincing.
that upsets me because I was like, I really want to know what Shannon said, but if Shannon can't remember, that's
Well, but Joe remembers everything that was said, so Joe can
okay.
tell you everything. Joe can 100% explain everything to you. But it was just one of those things where Joe was like, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck happened." And like he's explaining this story, and Shannon was like, "Wait, I told you all this?" And Joe was like, "Yeah, don't you remember I called you on the or you called me on the phone like 3 days ago?" And Shannon was like, "Oh, that was when I was blackout drunk," and like had no fucking idea. So yeah, funny stuff.
That's great.
Yeah.
But so one of my, which is a kind of depressing story to say, is one of the guys that I work with, that I used to talk games with,
Oh,
actually got
Seahawks.
fired this week.
Come to me.
What?
Do it.
Oh,
Oh, well, that guy just threw a grenade. But
no, that was me. I accidentally hit that.
you're good. I was gonna say if you stay in the footprints and then activate it, it's a multiplayer moat. So like it's you and me doing one moat together.
I've done one of those. There was a dual one that I did with a random
Oh
guy.
yeah, I've got the dual one too. The dual one's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, because he kept doing it in front of me, and I was like, "What? What do you want me to do?" And then all of a sudden, it popped up like for me to interact with it. I was like, oh, "Okay," and then I did it. I was like, "Oh, that's neat."
Yeah. I don't have my boots on. That's why it wasn't working. I thought I was wearing my transversive steps, and
Uh,
I was not. Transversive steps, as a warlock, when you are wearing those, if you sprint, it automatically reloads your weapon instant.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so like it's like shoot, 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 run away, shoot, 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 run away.
Let's see the small blocker. Okay, that switched.
So what are you thinking of Destiny so far?
Kind of like what I was talking about earlier when you're on the phone with Corey. I'm enjoying it. One of my friends, we were talking about it, and his wife really just detests Destiny, and he was saying getting into it, like he's played it since the beginning, so it kind of gets slow for him. But he's like, CJ, because you're just jumping into the middle of this right now, you have so much content to go through. And I'm like, yeah, and
Oh yeah,
I am kind of thoroughly enjoying it. But it does, I do see like the kind of sad thing. Like I was, before I did the storyline with Cade,
yeah. Forsaken.
everybody was talking about, yeah, it sucks that we lost Cade. And I was just like, yeah, it's kind of like spoiler territory, but I already know what happened. So,
Right. Well,
um,
because it's also one of those where they automatically assume that like if you're playing Forsaken, or like if you're playing after Forsaken's come out, you're playing that. But that's the
yeah.
other interesting thing though is when they announced Forsaken, the announcement trailer was literally the death of Cade 6.
Oh,
So yeah, so it's one of those where they spoiled it right off the bat, but they did it like because they were like, we're gonna do something that nobody will expect us to do with Destiny. And people were like, oh, like, haha, what is that gonna be? And then you have like they showed off the death of Cade 6, and then everybody was just like speechless. And they were just like, yep, you saw that right. We killed Cade 6. It's up to you to avenge him. And I was just like, what?
which I give him that. That was
Shit,
a
shit,
bold
shit,
move.
shit.
Oh, damn. We had a enemy player.
I know. Where is he? Where is he? I've got 15
Oh,
motes.
he's in the forest.
He's in the forest.
Or the wooded area.
Fuck me! God damn it! Shit! Literally, I saw him. I tried to run away, and it's like right before he shot over back to his side, he popped me once with his sniper rifle and killed me. And I dropped all 15 motes.
And the blocker's done. All right. There was no point.
All right. Well, I was gonna say I don't have any motes right now, so he won't get anything for killing me. So, or we won't lose anything for him killing me. I'm
Yeah.
gonna sit here and take out Taken. Oh, he
Okay.
used a super on me. Cool. He's coming right to you. He's coming over to the swamp with his super.
I jumped right in, face full of that, and I was like, lovely.
But again, at least for me, like I didn't have like any motes, so it's not like I didn't lose anything by him killing me. So
Yeah. You know what? Come on, big boy. Let's dance. Oh. Oh, there's an invader. Shit.
Yep.
Oh, it's the same fucking dude.
Well, he's gone.
Yeah. Hmm. Oh, yeah, a minute. Sweet.
Fuck me.
What?
I just got beat to death by a gladiator. But no, what am I gonna say?
Oh, so correct me if I'm wrong. So the expansion for this that's coming out
Yes.
is essentially I get weird harnessing the darkness.
Yes. So basically, what they're so as of right now, you're harnessing the light. Okay.
Yeah.
What they're doing is basically creating a horde versus alliance concept within the game, and you will be
Okay.
able to access a completely different tree that will allow you to use dark powers as opposed to light.
Gotcha.
And so they're doing it so that so like there's not really a oh this faction versus this faction. So they're doing a thing to kind of make it more like that. Where
Okay.
like with World of Warcraft, you have Alliance versus Horde. It's going to be light versus dark.
Gotcha. Um, which is interesting. Have you ever heard the concept of how Destiny was supposed, like the I think it's the Traveler, how the original story, what they were going to do with him?
Uh-uh.
It So the Traveler was actually supposed to be evil, and we were supposed to find that at the end of Destiny that like it's been using us to like further its cause.
That's kind of a cool concept.
Yeah, which I was like, that'd have been kind of like a neat concept to be like, oh hey, we're this thing brought us back to life to be guardians, and then and the other you find out like, oh yeah, it brought us back so we could technically be doing its bidding. And I was like, that'd have been a great like reveal at the end.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, we gotta defeat these boys first. And punch. Oh, fire bubble.
Yeah, that would have made for a pretty cool story. I will say what's really interesting is what's kind of cool. We're actually going to be getting a um Oh shit! Fuck. Well, that's him.
Yeah.
One of the enemies that we're getting a new type of enemy in the new expansion, and that enemy is somebody we haven't seen since the concept art of Destiny 1.
Oh, okay.
So like I watched one of the developer things with Bungie, and yeah, it was pretty cool. It's basically like a oh, we have this enemy that we're going to be putting into Destiny, like their concept art, haha, and then like nothing ever came of it. But
Hmm.
now their story is finally coming into play. It's
Okay.
really interesting because like a lot of people didn't notice it. But then when they were showing it off in the dev thing, like you can see like the pyramids that are coming into play like right now, you can
Hmm.
actually see those pyramids in their concept art.
Oh, nice.
And so it's kind of a like, oh, well, if you've been watching the last couple seasons, you would recognize those as being from there. So it's kind of interesting.
Okay. They kind of gave me Reaper vibes from
A little bit from Mass Effect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was that?
I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw something about Half-Life 3.
Well, so basically Valve came out and stated that they will more than likely never make Half-Life 3 because um everybody has this idea and concept as to what Half-Life 3 should be built up in their heads that they will never be able to live up to everybody's expectations. So they don't want to make a game where they're already in the hole because they're not going to meet people's expectations.
I see that.
So they made Half-Life Alex, the virtual reality game,
Okay.
and that came out and everyone ate it up and loved it. And like every single review, the lowest review I've seen is a 9.8 out of 10.
Oh wow.
So like everyone fucking loved it. So after that, they were like, okay, now that we see that maybe we can possibly live up to the hype, we don't feel as intimidated going into Half-Life 3. So now they're looking at making more games in the Half-Life universe.
Okay.
So it's kind of one of those where they went from we are definitely not going to ever do it because people want it too badly and it won't live up to
Hmm.
yeah, we could do it. So,
All right.
which again, I heard really good things about Alex. So I
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I don't have a VR headset that will. Well, I mean, technically, with a few modifications, I can get my PlayStation for my PlayStation VR to work on PC. So I might
Mhm.
be able to play Alex that way. But the rumor is here soon though they're going to be coming out with a non VR version of Alex. That way, people that don't have VR can play it. So
Okay.
when that happens, hopefully I can play it and it'll be better.
Oh yeah.
But kind of like how what's the not Rick and Morty? Trover Saves the Universe.
Yep.
Trover Saves the Universe. You can play VR or non VR. It's not only VR. But okay. I'm gonna go forward and towards the middle.
Okay.
Okay, forward and to the middle. Okay, now come up next to me and activate on the.
Joining.
Yeah,
Oh
that is the greatest emote ever. Fucking love Holy Grail. But anyway, did you say you played Final Fantasy VII remake?
Yep.
I saw something online where somebody in one of the PlayStation groups that I'm part of made a comment about, "Oh, I just finished the Final Fantasy VII remake. I really enjoyed it. It's the first Final Fantasy game I ever played. Looking at going back and playing 15. Any thoughts?" And I was like, "Those are two completely different games, aren't they? Like gameplay wise and everything."
Yeah.
Like, I haven't played Seven remake, but I would assume it plays somewhat like Seven, and
um,
therefore completely different from the other one from
so
15.
15 is essentially the precursor to the 7 remake. Um, it'll have if they go back and play 15, they'll see it's kind of one of those, oh, I see where you got the idea for all of remake the 7 remake. Um, the combat, it essentially is the same type of combat, live action, and you put in commands and stuff like that. It's not as finely tuned as remake,
Yeah.
uh, but it's a good old dude bro vacation. Um, it's kind of, yeah. I guess if you want to go to 15, that's fine.
Well, they were debating between going to 15 or going back and replaying the original 7. That way they can get the full story instead of having to wait till the rest of 7 comes out. But I'm like, okay, but now you're going from an action JRPG to a turn-based JRPG. Like,
Yeah,
now you're talking a completely different kind of game.
yeah, and that'll kind of be jarring to be go from the active battle system to, or going from remake to the active battle system,
Right.
because we're just standing there like, why can't I do anything? I'm like, because you got to wait to do it. Like, now that I'd like to watch them play that actually, just to see their reaction. um, now, like, I made a joke to one of my friends that
That's the same fucker that was in the last one, wasn't it? Psychedelic Onion? I don't know. Maybe it is.
maybe.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Um,
I don't know. He just one shot me with Xenophage. Fuck that guy. Sorry. Anyway.
I don't. I don't think. Well, if psychedelic onion, I don't know if he came over, but it was the start with a C. Was the person who kept coming over and fucking us up in the last game.
I don't know.
Um, if he goes back, I highly recommend playing the first one because it's the OG. I would kind of, I would, if you're a new player, I would skip 2 because 2 is a weird.
So are you talking 2 or are you talking US 2?
Uh,
Because US 2 is actually 4?
chronological 2, not release 2. I know what you're talking about.
Well,
We never.
so because in Japan, 2 was released, 3 was released, but those didn't get over here to the US. So instead of releasing 4 as 4
4.
when we didn't get 2 and 3,
They released it at 2.
they released it as 2. Yeah, which threw everything off and confused the fuck out of me for the longest time.
Which a weird Final Fantasy fact that I don't know if you'll know it, but most people know. In Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the movie, Scott said he plays the I think the boss theme, but they misquote it because it's not. I'd have to go back and watch the scene, but it's because of that. He's like, I think he says I'm going to play the boss theme from 2, but it's not the boss theme from 2. It's the boss theme from 4 because there was that difference.
Yeah.
Um,
Fucking bullshit. God damn it. I had another 15 fucking motes, but because that asshat came over here, yeah, we lost this one too. We're down 92 to 35.
there's blockers. Well, Shield up.
But anyway, but no,
Um,
that's interesting that they did the
yeah,
wrong.
it's in the whole thing of Final Fantasy. It's always interesting that the fact they did that. Um, actual 2 and actual 3. 3 actually brought in the job system. 2, kind of like The Legend of Zelda 2, was just a weird kind of way they did leveling. It's just odd. Like I said, 3 brought in the job system. It was well, I guess the first one had jobs, but like where you could actually switch jobs between
Right.
characters.
Yeah.
Um, we got 4 in the form of 2. No, 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 no. We didn't get 4. We got 5 and 6 because um, 4 was the other one we didn't get, and then 5 was 2, 6 was 3, and then randomly there was Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Um,
7 was where they brought it back to where it was supposed to be.
yes. Um, but what's funny is there was a huge dispute between Nintendo and Square Enix at the time,
Yeah.
and because of it, that's why Final Fantasy VII was a PlayStation title and not a Nintendo title.
Well, and also it had something to do so like because it was supposed to be on N64,
Yep.
but 7 would have taken like it was like 45 cartridges,
Yep.
and so like you can't do that. Like that would just be a far too expensive game.
Oh yeah.
Although I guess we're technically going to be getting that with all the remakes. They're doing the remake over the course of is it 5 games now? Because it's really
um,
supposed to be a trilogy, but then they bumped it up more than that. I can't remember if it's supposed to be now 4 or 5.
I heard 4, but it would make like I could see them doing 5 if they really want to flesh out
Yeah.
some stuff. Have you played it?
I have not. I need to just sit
Okay.
down and play it because everybody I've talked to, like, it consumed their life for a long time, but are saying that it's one of the best experiences they've had playing games in a very long time.
Yeah, I can't really say with it anything without getting into spoilers, but I can see why they're. I can say this. I can see why they're going to do it the way they're going to do it.
Yeah. Well, which I will say, like, 7 is a game that very much can easily be split into separate stories.
Oh yeah. There's actually a ton of unused like lines, plots, characters that weren't in the original 7
Uh-huh.
that a lot of us were hoping because of the way they're doing the remake that they can actually fulfill those characters and actually do something, bring them in, do something with them interesting. Because everybody, I weirdly like Vincent, even though he's technically an optional character.
Yeah.
Um, he got his own spin-off game, but it's one of those I'd rather play 7 and him have more of a backstory in 7. And for the love of God, fix his ultimate. Jesus, I hated his fucking ultimate.
Oh,
I'm gonna turn into a Frankenstein monster that you can't control, and good fucking luck. And I'm like, you were so cool when you were the gun-toting dude. Now you're just annoying, and I want you out of my party. Where are? Oh, they're over here. Actually, click, click, boom. Click, click, boom. All right. Where's that sweet, sweet spawning?
Yeah.
Um, God, what I really want in a Final Fantasy is why I'm really the one reason I really want the backwards compatibility for PlayStation 5 to just be better than what it's going to be. I
Uh-huh.
really want to play Final Fantasy Tactics on a next gen console.
I'll give you that. Final Fantasy Tactics. Don't get me wrong, I love Fire Emblem, but Final Fantasy Tactics, specifically on Game Boy Advance, was my first foray into tactical RPGs, and it set the bar really high.
Oh yeah,
And it's so well done, the storytelling, the gameplay, and everything like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Fire Emblem fanboy. Like to the point where I've even got the Fire Emblem Echoes I picked up on 3DS, but the I got the collector's edition for 3DS, but the collector's edition didn't. Only the Japanese version came with one of the items I was really wanting to get in the collector's edition, and
hmm
so because of that, I went ahead and bought the Japanese version, and had it shipped here to the US. And it's pretty cool because what they did was they took all of the it's basically a Blu-ray of all of the cutscenes um, from which was it? Whichever one was on the Wii. I can't remember which one it was, but
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
anyway,
Yeah.
they took it from that from that one on every single Fire Emblem game, every single cutscene, and put it onto a Blu-ray upres to 1080.
Oh, nice.
So like I now have a Blu-ray with all of the cutscenes from the first one on the Wii all the way up through all the 3DS ones and everything like that, including all of Echoes, all on Blu-ray. Which is funny because so it's specific to the Japanese one. You can only get it
Mhm.
on the Japanese one. But the Blu-ray comes with both English and Japanese, and then subtitles in English subtitles as well. So it's like the Blu-ray's made
Yeah.
for a U.S. audience, obviously, because you have it in English. Like, why couldn't you just thrown that in the package? I would have even been happy like paying a little bit of extra money, like instead of the $120 for it, do like 150 and throw
Oh
the
yeah.
Blu-ray in. Like, yeah, but nope. So instead, I paid 120 for the American and 120 for the Japanese. So I spent $240. That's probably why they ended up doing it separately like that, so they could make a little bit extra money. But for the people
Probably.
like me that are really wanting it,
Yeah.
but
Not like Fire Emblem has a place. I will give it that. Like for what it is,
mhm.
um, it did innovative RTSs in a way that, like I said, it will have its place. But dude, tactics.
But yeah, tactics. Even with all the advances of Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy Tactics still is 100% like the top of the tier when it comes to tactical RPGs. Plain and simple.
Yeah. The the weird story of how I got my copies of Tactics.
Uh huh.
Uh, I remember one day I got home from school and my dad's like, "Hey, randomly I have 5 PlayStation games," and I was like, "Oh, okay." He gave me 5 copies of Final Fantasy Tactics, and I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Yeah, one of the guys I work with found them and wanted to know if I wanted them, so I thought I'd bring them home to you." And I'm like, "Okay." I don't know why I need 5 copies, but yeah.
Because in case you misplace 4 of them.
Yeah. So one of them I gave to one of my roommates in college because he never played a Final Fantasy game, and I told him you need to play this one.
Makes sense.
One of them I gave to one other friend because he was a collector of Final Fantasy and he didn't have tactics. So it's just like, hey, you need this in your collection. Um, one other one, I actually have no clue what happened to it, but I still have 2 copies of it.
Nice.
So one of the cases is in really good condition. The other one, I don't know if it happened when we were moving, but it kind of got cracked and messed up. So
I hear. And but no, yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics, which I will say it's so the first Final Fantasy Tactics game I actually played was on the Game Boy Advance. So it was like it's not the original story.
yep.
Um which I loved because it's also a little bit more simplified. So
Yep.
when I was playing it on Game Boy Advance, it was easier concept to grasp because I didn't have as much tactical strategy thinking in my head. Like
Oh
I,
yeah.
I just wasn't good at it. Um, but it's still,
No.
even though it's like a dumbed down version of the story and very simplified version of the stuff, like it still was a really well done, entertaining game. And then when I played the original one, I actually played the PSP remake.
Okay, yeah. The War of the Lions.
Yeah. So that was actually the first time I had played it. I never played the original Final Fantasy Tactics until years later when I got it as a emulator.
Oh, swiggity swooty. I just got one of, oh, baby. Sorry, I'm fanboying over here. One of my favorite old guns was the Monte Carlo.
Oh yeah, you just got the Monte Carlo?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was just killing, I think that big fallen guy, and all of a sudden I was just running, grabbing motes, and it says like, "Hey, guess what? You now have the Monte Carlo," and I was like,
Yeah.
"My baby."
It's pretty cool. Like it's not like holy shit cool, but it's
Yeah.
it's nice. I like it. God damn it. Come on. There we go.
Um, I actually have a copy of the War of the I have a PSP and a copy of the War of the Lions.
Yeah.
I played through it and I was kind of upset because you could actually play as they added the Onion Knight and the
Uh-huh.
Dark Knight, I think, as a playable race with our playable class that you couldn't play as in the original. And I
Yeah.
was super salty about that because I was like, the Onion Knight I didn't really care about, but the Dark Knight, I was just like, I've always wanted to play this class, but I never could in the original, and now I can, and I'm super salty about this. And I sat there and I played it for hours on end.
Oh, we've lost this one too.
Yeah.
I will say the other nice thing I like about doing Gambit Prime is that it's much shorter.
Oh yeah. I will give you that.
I will also say, so speaking of Game Boy Advance games, did you ever play Advance Wars?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you checked out Wargroove?
No.
So Wargroove is a game that came out last year, the year before, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. But it's made by Chucklefish,
Okay.
same guys that do Stardew Valley.
Yep.
But the interesting thing is, it's actually like got some of the people that were on the original team for Advance Wars, plus plus a lot of fans of Advance Wars, and it's basically them making like a um like it's like their love letter to Advance Wars, basically.
Ooh, okay.
Really well done, and it's got a really cool in-depth multiplayer system where you can actually uh, go through and create maps and create your own campaign to the
Oh,
point where it's like, oh, you make the dialogue. If you come over here and talk to this person, this is what they say. If you win, this is what happens, and this is where you go from here, and blah blah blah. Blah. And you basically create your own campaign within everything, and very much like the original Advance Wars. Like it's like 16-bit, so like graphically it looks identical, but
nice.
really, 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 really good game. Highly recommend.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's on like everything, and it's full crossplay. So like
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
on the uh it's a play anywhere title between Xbox One and PC. So if you get it on Xbox One, you can play the PC version and it keeps your same save data, or you can buy the
Okay.
game on Steam, and obviously that one's different because it's on Steam. But
Yeah.
or you can do um um you can get it on Switch, PlayStation, like it's on everything. But
Mhm. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
and it's really not an expensive game either. The full price of the game is I want it. It's like 20 or 25,
Okay.
and it's got 10 campaigns because you can play through each of the different factions, and then they
Okay.
just added a DLC that was free.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of games that kind of uh, pay tribute to other ones, and being created by people who created other games, uh, Bloodstain, Curse of the Moon, and
Oh
Curse of
yeah,
the Moon 2. I love Castlevania. I played the first one, Bloodstain, Curse of the Moon, um, on PlayStation because it was the free. I think it was the free game for the month,
uh huh.
and then I started doing some research into it, and I found out like it was a the original I think it was Bloodstain. There was actually a Symphony of Night kind of remake that they did, and that was the main focus. And Bloodstained Curse of the Moon was kind of like a reward for the people who backed the game for so much. Which I've never played the actual game that they were trying to release, but they apparently came out with a second one, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. And I was watching some information about it, and they were talking about the people who did Castlevania worked on this and tried to make like a somewhat a successor or like faithful adaptation with this work. And I can tell completely, like it feels like Dracula's Curse, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I played it for hours. I played all of the alternate endings with how you do everything, and it was really just a trip down like a nostalgia lane, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Um,
See, that's one. The first Bloodstained, I was really excited for, and then I got it on PC, and on PC, I heard it was like completely broken and unplayable. So I was
oh
like,
wow,
oh shit. So I waited and then got it on Xbox. And then something had happened on the Xbox version and it was almost unplayable, but slightly better than the PC version still. So I was like,
yeah,
okay, well, I'll just wait. And then I heard, oh, they're all fixed, everything's updated, and every version of the game plays great. The only thing against any version is people recommend don't play it on Switch just because it's locked at a lower frame rate. But
Oh,
then, like, it's still like it's locked at it's like 25 frames, I think, which still, because it doesn't go any higher and doesn't go any lower, still isn't terrible.
yeah.
But yeah, so because of that, like, I never got around to it, and I've been meaning to, but I just haven't had a chance to go back and actually play it now that it's actually, you know, the way it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
But
Oh, fuck you. You know what? Take fucking maybe piece of poo. There we go. No, here. Um,
how do you do your class ability?
what?
What button do you push to use your class ability?
My punch grenade or my ultimate?
Uh, your so like warlocks can drop rifts, hunters can dodge. I don't remember Titan's thing. Oh, your shield that you drop.
Oh, B. I had to hold B.
Got it. Take it.
Okay, so that's um yeah,
Damn it.
because we either have the vertical or the horizontal shield.
Right. Whoa, got a new energy weapon. What's this?
Nice.
Timeline's Vertex. It's a fusion rifle. Well, I'm gonna load that into this because why not? But anyway, we're almost at 2 hours on the podcast. We want to go ahead and end this and then just keep playing.
Sure.
All right, because then we can switch over to game chat as well.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, all right. I guess we will end this. So till next podcast, I'm Nick,
I'm CJ.
and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Have a good one.